Welcome to Brand Builders TV. Deep dive topics, tools and resources brought to you by global thought leaders from within the Brand Builders Club. This show gives you access to the strategies that you can use to move forward with ease and flow in every area of your life and business. In today's show, Gayle is going to share tips and resources for bouncing back when things have gone wrong so that you can gain control of your business. During this 4-episode series, we'll look at what to do in this situation and how you can rebuild. In fact, how you can rise from the ashes like the proverbial phoenix. Learn it, model it, and get shit done. Let's go.
Good afternoon and welcome to the second episode in the Lost for Words series with me, Gayle Edwards. Do you know, I almost said something else there, but no, you can call me the personal brand disruptor. So in this series, we've been looking at when things go wrong, because the reality of being an entrepreneur, a business owner, a freelancer, a consultant, basically being responsible for your own destiny, anything can go wrong. And quite frankly, it normally does. And sometimes we take that on board and we internalize it and we think, oh my goodness, now that it's gone wrong, it can never go right again. Well, that's not true, is it? I mean, you know it's not true. I know it's not true because I've experienced it. I've been an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur now for, oh goodness, over 20 years. And I've had ups and I've had downs and I've had the in-betweens, because that is part and parcel of life. It's part and parcel of business. So last week we spoke about the fundamentals. The first thing you got to get right is sort yourself out. Take care of yourself. Accept that it's all part and parcel of the journey. So we talked a lot about self-care last week. But this week, I want to talk to you about the bounce back. What happens when the bounce back begins, when you start thinking, okay, now I'm ready to face the world again. But what am I going to say? How do I go out there and be me when I know that really I'm still crumbling inside? I'm still trying to recover. I haven't yet healed. You know, maybe it's a business venture that you just feel so embarrassed about that it went wrong because you built it up to be the next best thing and it went wrong. It happens. Do you think Richard Branson, Bill Gates, Alan Sugar, you know, Oprah, Michelle Obama, Barack Obama, even my lovely Meghan Markle, do you think they've never had anything go wrong? Of course they have. It's part and parcel, but they still got to keep going. But it's not always as simple as just keeping going or just get up and push through it. It's not always that simple, let's be honest. It's not always that simple. So what I want to do today is I want to give you some real tangible tips and resources that if you're finding, you know, the business isn't quite being built the way you want it to be, it's not going the way you want, it's not flowing in the right direction, there are some things that you can do, because you've still got to go out there and talk about yourself and talk about your business. You've still got to represent your business, whether it be online. A lot of us now are behind a screen. So it doesn't matter whether you're online, whether it's copy that's being written, or whether you're face-to-face. Because, you know, every now and again, we still sneak out for a coffee, let's be honest. You've still got to represent your business. You've still got to protect your brand, and you still have to build your brand. So how do you do that? So the first thing I want to say to you is be patient. Just be patient. Know that sometimes when we take a little bit of a sideways or a backwards step, We've got to be patient before we start to move forward again. Yeah? Got to be patient. Be patient with yourself. Be patient in knowing that there are some people that may be bruised. They may need time to come back on side. Be patient with them. Be loving, be kind, but still be nurturing. Still serve them in your way if you can. But just be patient, because just because you're doing that, it doesn't mean they're going to come back and fall back into the fold. And that goes for clients, it goes for business partners, but it also goes for your friends and loved ones around you as well. Because remember, they would more than likely they would have gone through the journey with you. And remember, we're not just talking about business failures here either. Sometimes things go wrong in your life. For me, the thing that stopped me dead in my tracks was when my marriage failed. I've spoken about this quite a few times. It literally stopped me in my tracks. And at that time, I was doing a lot of work with women around living their best life, around showing up authentically, around creating really flourishing and harmonious partnerships. And in amongst all of that, my marriage floundered. So I was embarrassed. I felt I couldn't do that work anymore. Who am I? I can't be standing there talking and training and mentoring and coaching women in this area when I can't even get it right for myself. Who am I? I tell you who I am. I'm human, just like you. And I know that there are many coaches and consultants and trainers and leaders out there who feel exactly the same as I felt then. But it's okay. It's okay. You can have a collapse, a relapse, and still be outstanding. Did you know that? You can have a collapse or a relapse and still be outstanding. It's just about how do you deal with that. So as I said, the first thing is to be patient. The other thing is to set the highest intention for yourself. This is a whole new phase now. You're now going into a new phase. You've picked yourself up and you say, right, I'm going to go for it again. So now, what is the highest intention? Because you have an opportunity, which brings us directly into point number 3. New lesson. Yeah, you've learned a whole new lesson, new industry, new lesson, new industry, new niche, new network. Take your pick, choose one or use all of them. But the fact is, you've learned new lessons, you've acquired new skills, a whole new level of understanding from that which you had before. And in there are going to be ways that now you can explore. As I said, I worked primarily with women at that time. And I still worked with women afterwards, but what I found was I worked with a certain kind of woman. And to this day, I still work with that type of woman, actually. And it's a woman who has basically lost everything and had to learn how to start again. I work a lot with people, not just women now, men as well, who have lost everything, or they've found themselves in a position where they're having to start again. Maybe they're starting in a whole new industry that they hadn't worked in before. Maybe they're creating a whole new niche for themselves that they hadn't worked in before. But new lesson brings new environment. Expose yourself to a different environment. And that's the same with networks. If you find that you're in the same network of people all the time, branch out, step over that comfort zone and branch out into a whole new network. Because then that has so many advantages, because it's going to, number one, There are people who may not necessarily know you. They may not know your story. They may not know who you were before. So they're going to be much more accepting of who you are now. So now when you share your story, you're sharing it because you want to, not because you feel you have to justify what went wrong. But also, it gives you another opportunity for leverage. And your brand, your personal brand, is all about leveraging. It's about profile. You know, nobody knows who you are unless they can see you. So you expose yourself to a whole new network. You've got whole new fresh eyes now on you and your brand. How fantastic is that? This is when your test becomes your testimony. You use it to branch out, to do different things, to meet new people, create new opportunities. And you speak about it from that place. When you talk about it now, you can speak about it from that place of genuine empathy and understanding, because you know what it's like to go through something and have to start fresh. When I speak to women who are going through a breakup or separation, I can speak to them from that place of absolute knowing, because I was one of them. And when they say, well, I'm not quite sure what I do, I've lost my purpose. Do I know what it's like to lose your purpose and have to find and rediscover it? Hell yes, I do. More than anything, I know exactly what that feels like, you know, because I've been there. I've been there. So when I'm talking, whether I'm speaking on a stage, on a podcast, or even here on Brand Builders TV, I can speak from a place of authority. When I'm speaking to that group of women, I'm speaking to them from a place of empathy and authority. That creates connection. Connection, as we know, creates conversion. And that's what you want to do. You want to connect with as many people as possible, despite what you've gone through. You know, you want to get them on side. Whether they don't always, so when I talk about conversion, I don't necessarily mean that they become clients either. They may become cheerleaders, and they may even become challengers. The fact is, you get them on side. So we've spoken about being patient with yourself. We've spoken about, you know, having the highest intention for the restart. You press the reset button and create the highest intention. What is it you want to achieve? Now you've got the chance to create something new. And in creating something new and learning new lessons, what can I say? New networks, new niches. So, and then there's one other thing. When you've got it all set up, and this I think is really important, because I have seen people do this, and I'm ashamed to say I have actually done this as well. Okay, so, oh gosh, I can't believe I'm going to say this on live, but I am, because it's really important. You've set your intentions. You've decided, right, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get back out there. I'm going to be honest with people. I'm going to talk to new people. Yep, I'm ready. You still have to make an income. Do not overprice or oversell your services. And that's the same with underpricing as well. So when I talk about overselling, I'm actually talking about underpricing as well, because I have done this, and I know many people who have done this in their eagerness, their keenness to get back out there and to start earning again, and, you know, get the business and start to build momentum again. And then people have created some fantastic new social media campaigns. They've got their marketing going great, and people are lapping it up. And you know why? Because they've come up with this fantastic, irresistible offer that is so irresistible that everybody wants it. but they can't service it. They cannot service the offer they create because they've either oversold it or underpriced it. I'll give you an example. So a few years ago, I was thinking, okay, I need to do something. When I was bouncing back, I thought, well, I need to do something. I need to create an offer that's going to really create some income. So I had this fantastic offer. Oh my goodness. It was, 3 months marketing, coaching and support, and, really learn how to master your message and all the stuff that I do over a 3-month period. And to be honest, I thought 10 people maximum would go for it. I did. I thought 10 people, great, that's going to bring in X amount. Yeah, let's go for it. And I had an automatic sign up button. So I wasn't speaking to everybody. So many people signed up for it because it was such a ridiculous price that I ended up burning myself out because I couldn't service them. I had underpriced my services and I had oversold them. So that's something I see a lot of people doing because they want quick revenue. Do not be fooled. As I've said before, be patient. Do yourself justice by really, how can I say, when you're setting your highest intentions, be respectful of those intentions. Be respectful of your time and of your expertise. Know that you're not in a rush because what you do is not about rush. It's about producing effective outcomes and results for people. It's about having that impact so that you can extend your influence. That's what it's about. And that deserves its own respect. So when you come now to start looking at what your whole message is, especially if you've done my standing up in your hallelujah process, which if you haven't, I would suggest that you do, and you can download that at bit.ly/hallelujah workbook. By all means, download that, start looking at your message, because when you've gone through trauma of any kind, whether big or small, the chances are your message has changed. So when you get into that whole overselling and underpricing thing, it's because you're operating from the old paradigm. You've got a whole new paradigm now, remember, which means that your message is going to be new. It may not be a huge change. It may just be a little tweak. And, though, if you know anything about my process that I use when helping people with their messaging and their personal branding and mantra, sometimes it's the tiniest tweak of the smallest word that makes the biggest difference in how you show up. So give it that time and respect that it needs to make sure that the message is still on point. Create it if it's not on point anymore, and then create your products, your new products and services from that place. And then you won't get into that overselling underprice, that panic, that crabs in a barrel attitude. There's no room for that then. Because this is about coming back. So you're coming back fresh with a whole new energy. And if it does mean, if it means that you're coming back and you're creating a new niche for yourself, then of course you're going to need a new message. But it also means that when you go into that niche with this message, you've got real opportunity there to create that impact, to be that person. And if you're doing that, and still doing the stuff we spoke about last week, the self-care stuff. So you've got a great routine, and you're, making sure that your message is on point. You're showing up in new areas. You've got a great high intention for your business. Then of course, you're going to start seeing the fruits of your labor really soon, aren't you? Of course you are. Of course you are. You're going to start seeing just how that period, that dark period that you've just come through, was actually the best thing that could have happened to you, because your test becomes your testimony. 10 years later, it's a weird thing to say, but I'm really grateful to my ex-husband and what we went through, because it's given me so much material, so much experience. It's given me so much understanding, of what really happens when our life does not work out the way we thought. What really happens when we lose our dreams and our vision? What really happens? And then how do we come back from that? And that informs so much of my writing, whether I'm writing for myself personally in my business or I'm writing for others like you in yours. It informs how I deal with people, whether I'm interviewing them for a podcast, whether I'm speaking to them like I am now, or whether I'm working with them on a one-to-one basis, because I understand. I understand what it's like to have to start from scratch. And you will understand. And you will be able to use that in your brand. You will. You'll be able to use it. You'll be able to learn from it and grow from it. Because that's really what it's about. Because the more we grow, the more our clients grow. We can only take our clients as far as we are prepared to go ourselves. You can't grow a client beyond yourself. We can only grow them as far as we are prepared to grow ourselves. So the more you grow, that growth in whichever form, you don't have to be a coach or a mentor or a trainer. You can be a consultant. It doesn't matter what your industry, your personal growth will fuel the growth in your clients. And that's how your test becomes your testimony. It's fundamental. But before we go, I want to talk to you about one other thing. Okay? One other thing in your business, and about the bounce back. It's something that's really close to my heart. It's something I preach it, shout it from the rooftops, okay? Because no bounce back happens without this, none. And that is celebration. You have got to celebrate those successes. You got to say yes. You got to be able to stand up, as I say, in your own hallelujah, and say, yes, I'm back. I'm back. And even if you do it in your own living room, dance around your own living room, doesn't matter. Even if it's every time you get in the car, you put on some great music and you do a little, yeah, brilliant. But you've got to be able to celebrate. Because if you don't celebrate, it all becomes way too dark and way too heavy. Celebrate every little step you make. Every time you go into a new network, you make a new connection online or offline. You've added a new product or service. You've sold something. Yes, I'm back. So that's your mantra for this week. Because next week, we're going to be moving it on even further. And you got to get into the groove of being able to say, yes, I'm back. Oh, yes, I'm back. However you want to say it, or however it makes you feel good. Because remember, thoughts become things. Thoughts become things. So if you're coming back, because remember, look, at the end of the day, we are resilient beings. We are so resilient by nature. Without going into all the graphicness, the graphics, but even if you just think of the very nature of our birth, what we go to actually get here, we are resilient. Of course we are. We're born with that. We just need to remember it. Bring it back. Yes, baby, I'm back. So I'm going to leave you with that today. Okay, I'm going to leave you with that. So in summary, you're bouncing back, you're coming back, you're dipping your toe back in the water. Got to be patient. Number one, got to be patient with yourself. Number two, have the highest intention for yourself and your business. Create something new. Rewrite the vision board. Rewrite the vision. Create a new vision board. Better still, do an impact board. So I do with my clients, impact boards. Okay? Get out into new networks, new industries, new markets, new people, because you've learned new lessons. New lessons means new people. Get out there. Share your stuff. You don't have to be tied to that old story. You can create a new story. You'll discover new niches because your experience now has given you a whole new aptitude for different types of people in different types of places and spaces. Yeah. And finally, not finally, actually, that I've almost missed the most important point. With your new message, make sure that your products and services are priced and sold accordingly. Do not overprice, do not underprice, and do not oversell, because that panic will drive you to do that. So think about what is the new message that you're creating here that you want to get out there, and deliver from that place. Not panic, not desperation, but from service, okay? From harmony. And finally, celebrate. Learn to celebrate. Oh my gosh, yes, I've got this. I've got this, I'm doing this, I'm back. So until next week on the Lost for Words series, this is the series that's all about beating the odds. What happens when things go wrong in your business? Can you really come back? Can you really still show up as the person that you like to think you are? Or do you have to create a whole new person? This is all the stuff we talk about in the Lost for Words series. Please tune in again next Tuesday at 2:00. We're here every Tuesday at 2:00 during October to show you exactly how you can recreate the business that you've always wanted and be the person that you know you are. So until next time, see you.
I hope that you've enjoyed the show today as much as we've enjoyed making it for you. If you've got anything out of this episode, please do tell someone else how they can subscribe to the Brand Builders TV channel at youtube.com/Brand TV. Why not join us at our next Brand Builders Thinkubator, a global mastermind that we run every week to take away the loneliness of being in business on your own. For more information and to book your place, visit light.brandbuilders.club/Thinkubator. That's light.brandbuilders.club/Thinkubator. Until next time, be the ripple that you wish to see in the world, and we'll see you soon.